Come here, guys. You guys are too far. If you want to come, you can pull the chair and come closer. Because, you know, I have a problem. I wasn't hug enough when I was a boy problem, so I like everybody around me. I don't know what was the problem. All right. Today is a special day. We have our regular general staff meeting. Generally, we have 3 or 4 a year. But this one here is special because it's being completely funded, sponsored, and it's going to be run by ADRA program. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Right, you happy? Yeah. So, come on, let's give a round of applause for ADRA program for sponsoring this one here. And they are going to work today in a special way. They're going to be teaching us a lot of things. One of those things will be the knowledge management system. I'm learning that during the day today, and it's going to be very important for us to get involved.
I'm so happy to be here again, and I'm feeling very lucky that I managed to be here just on this day with the launch of this knowledge management system. It has been very interesting for me, and I'm looking very much forward to share with my colleagues in Denmark. Which leads me to, first of all, I would like to bring you many greetings from ADRA Denmark to all of you here in ADRA Rwanda. As you know, knowledge management is an important focus area for ADRA Denmark, because we believe that running good programs with a high impact and to be a professional organization, then it's very important to be able to handle knowledge and information, even data, in a good and systematic way. Because managing knowledge and information helps you knowing what you actually know. And it helps you document your results, it helps you to make better reports, which we like. It helps you share experiences within the organization, and it definitely also helps you to sustain information for future work. As Patrick also mentioned, we have introduced this knowledge management in all of our ASK partner countries, which ADRA Denmark is working with. And it has been done through this workshop in Malawi in November, and it will be followed by a follow-up workshop in May, also in Malawi. Actually, also in ADRA Denmark, we are now working with our own knowledge management systems, and we are currently also introducing and implementing a new knowledge management system in ADRA Denmark office to help improve our knowledge management and to help improve the system so we can do as good as possible. I know that the ASK team has been working very hard to set up this system, to be able to launch it today, and I think we should all thank them very much for having done this good job. Thank you. And as I said, I'm very happy to be here today and to be able to share this day with you, and of course also on behalf of ADRA Denmark through the ASK program to hand over the knowledge management system to ADRA Rwanda. I hope you will use the system wisely, and I hope that you will benefit from the use of it. And we in ADRA Denmark will look very much forward to learn from also your experiences with this knowledge management system. Thank you very much.
In the political campaign for president of Peru of 2000, I think it was 2002, a candidate said, "You don't have a government plan." And the other said, "Yes, I do." He said, "No, I have books and books of the government plan that I'm trying to, but you don't have." And the other reached out the pocket and got a flash, a zip drive at the time. And he said, "My government plan is here because we're in the information technology time." And the guy just shut up. In reality, today, this handover, you know, I was thinking they're gonna give me a pen drive probably with, you know, everything. But in reality, since this is in the cloud, the handover, I just received it from the cloud too. Probably it's a password exchange later that we But in reality, receiving this means a lot to us. And I'm glad that, you know, as I mentioned to you, sometimes I don't like when somebody look at me and say, it's your responsibility. And Patrick mentioned that very clearly. It's ADRA Rwanda's responsibility today to keep up our memory, our knowledge. And actually, it's part of my job description to keep up those things. So thank you very much for putting this together. Patrick, I want to thank you not only, in the S program, not only to come up with this concept and say, let's implement this and let's move fast, but also to come in and give us in a very creative way. If you asked me 2 months ago, let's get a knowledge management system in place, the first thing I would think would be, okay, so I need an IT guy now to come help Claude to set this up. We need to buy some servers, we need to do this and that. I would have in my head a whole different way of doing it. And I'm glad that we are not coming to that point. I'm glad that Patrick found a way, a simple way, and an efficient way to say, let's start with this, and let's get this running, and let's get this in use. Managers know a lot, that sometimes we start bothering you with things like, please send us pictures, send us this, send us news, send us that. And in reality, we should not ask you anymore. We should now go online and find them. Of course, as Patrick was saying, this is a learning process, and I believe that we are all together going to say, how can I do this more efficiently? Starting for myself, probably the communication, we have to start using these channels to make sure that everybody will get running and using this. But this is a start, and I believe that ADRA has a big responsibility now to follow this up. And I'm taking this in front of 125 workers of ADRA Rwanda, none of them are here, but representing all of them, that we are going to make sure that the memory of ADRA Rwanda for the next 35 years will be not only the good things, but also the knowledge of the things we have done in the country. So thank you very much for the Denmark, ADRA Denmark for being involved in this, ADRA Denmark for sponsoring this program, ASK program in Rwanda for putting this together, and more is to come. I believe there's a Malawi training about this, that it's related to this, that's coming right now in May, and we are learning more and how efficient to put this in place. But I don't want to hold you, because I could start a brand new speech about it 1 hour, but I think the food is ready, and we don't want to keep you waiting for it. Thank you very much.
Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. Okay, I go again. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. Once again. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. Very simple. I will ask you to stand, and then we sing it with energy. Yes, let's do it. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Let's go. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. Once again. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love.
Another quote here, and this is Albert Einstein. What did he say is that nothing happens until something moves. Of course, Einstein was thinking more about his philosophical or physical understanding of the world and all those things that come with that. I have no idea what he was thinking. But in reality, if you apply this to your daily lives, if you apply this to the things that happen in our lives, Nothing happens until something moves. You have to have some sort of movement, some sort of decision, some sort of idea, so you can get those things happening. So action is basically a necessary thing. And you guys, I shared with you before that story of the gazelle, right? You know the story of the gazelle and the lion in Africa? Remember? We shared this in the General Staff meeting. Can I repeat that?
Yes.
Can I repeat that? Every morning in Africa, what happens? A gazelle wakes up. And the gazelle knows that it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it will be eaten. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up, and what happens? He knows that he must run faster than the slowest gazelle, or he will starve. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better start running. Alright? So we are here today because we understand that our actions, they produce a couple of things. And I want to share with you a couple of those ideas there. Action. What is an action? What is an action? My daughter comes to me sometimes. She's adorable, as you know. Sometimes she looks at us and she does something and she said, I didn't mean to, it was an accident. You know, when that happens, for example, the cup is right here. She reaches out to grab something at the table, she hits the cup falls, water spills all over the table, and then she says, oh, I didn't mean to, it was an accident. And probably it's true. But in reality, most of the things we do, we create or we generate something as a result of that, right? Everything you do as a worker, everything you do in your job, everything you do in the field results into something. It derives into what? A reaction, we can say. We can say it's a result of what you do. Now, let me share with you this. Two things, two types of actions. My technology didn't work well today, so I'm leaning here. First type of action, which is that? Which one is that? Proaction. What is a proaction? Come on, guys. Well, don't you actually help us write in our statements that we are proactive. What is that?
Promote.
We promote. Okay, what else?
Act in advance.
You act in advance.
Anticipation.
Or you anticipate the action. What else? You see, a proaction is something that you plan what you want to act because you are planning all the results. Have you ever seen demolition of buildings by explosion? How do you call that? Implosion? Sometimes they call it, I don't know. But have you seen that? You know, the same explosive that you use to blow something up, it's used now, controlled. So when it explodes, it brings the results that you expect.
My name is Zemana Estas. I am in the program that is called Action for Social Change, and I am the Deputy Program Manager. Thank you.
This is Benimana Erifas. I'm working from ASK program as field assistant.
I am Patrick Haga. I work for the Action for Social Change program as program manager. Thank you.
Good.
I'm Esther Nandudu, project manager, ADRA Rwanda Eastern Province Women Literacy.
I'm David Sakamoto, field facilitator in Action for Social Change.
My name is Kizito. I work for Action for Social Change in Nyagatare district. Thank you.
My name is Zoe Grabo. I work for ASK program in Western Province.
Good.
Project manager.
The biggest project.
Ego-wise.
I'm called training coordinator in Rwanda Eastern Province Community.
I'm Leonardo Grotto. I work for the board, training coordinator.
Repo is the
DFID.
DFID.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Jazz. I work for Action and I serve as the Atlantic and Process Coordinator.
Ngabongaile Margaret, my field facilitator in Action for Social Change.
I'm Anna Alisa. I'm a cashier in the Central Province.
The demand summit from trade assistance, action for social change.
I'm sharing us, working as an education facilitator in the province in Action.
Here Jean-Pierre, local farming HR prevention program as a field facilitator.
Yes, Daniel Action for Social Change. Very well.
For you to know someone's name, it means you have had an opportunity to meet them more than once, and you have shown an interest in them, talking to them, knowing them, and what have you. The introductions which we have done here may not be of much help if it ends there. It will be of much help if eventually you extend your hand to someone you never knew before. You are meeting them here today, and you can talk to them and find out more about, their home, something like that. With that, you can know something about the other person. So I encourage you that in the course of today, take time to know the minimum must be 3. Just 3 people you didn't know before. You have made them here today because ADRA Rwanda has been hiring, and you were out there, you never had a chance to meet them. So just take time to know at least 3 new faces, okay? We'll have time at some point for you to tell us about the new people you have met today. All right. Somewhere in the Bible it's written that someone called for a wedding, and then invitees came. And as he was moving around, he met someone and he said, "Hey, how come you are here?" And they found out that that particular person did not have the dressing of the wedding, the dressing of the occasion. We have the dresses for all the invitees. We are supposed to have enough for everybody. So if you don't have the dressing, it should mean that you have made a choice not to put it on. But you are encouraged. You are French, I would say, courage, to put it on. Okay? So we will take a maximum of 10 minutes as a break, and during that time, try to locate where your dressing is. And if possible, put it on. And then we'll meet again at 10:30 we start, okay? And knowing each other may start now. Thank you so much.
Okay, merci.
And it depends on your levels that information becomes knowledge to you. So for instance, someone may explain about, I heard among us, they are mechanics. So for instance, there's a special truck engine which needs special techniques. And we have that person who knows those things. And maybe it is not even in the technical manual of that vehicle. This person discovered that and has got information on a piece of, in the system, and explains 1 to 10 steps on how it can be done. Okay. For this particular mechanic, in the way they have explained, this is knowledge. Okay. And then Etienne, a journalist, goes into the system and finds this information. And then the information says piston, caliber, cylinder. It will not make sense to him. So it will remain the data for him. He needs someone to explain to him what all that means. Now, the person who understands those things may be looking for that information, comes into the system. When that person gets that information, it is knowledge. They are going to apply it, they are going to use it. So, not everything is going to make sense for everyone. Some information will make sense to some people, and some to some. Because it is not possible to have something which everyone at different levels are going to understand. So for instance, there's going to be the BCS, for example, the balance budget control sheet, for instance. And then someone else who doesn't understand, you know, you look at figures, you are hungry already. You want to go and eat first so that maybe you can try to understand. You come back, you have to run again. It's not meant for those people. So it's going to be mixed, whereby all the information is going to be there, but it's going to be used by different individuals. I don't know if that clarifies. Okay, it clarifies for Benjamin. For the others? Okay. Any other question? Yes, Ben.
I'm just wondering that now that we will be given, I don't know how the plan is for us to contribute our information or data to the system, but how will we authenticate, or for example, know that this is true and good data and this is a lie, this is not it? So who's going to vet all that so that at the end of the day we say this is now good?
Okay, the type of data, information, which we are going to put on in the system is ADRA Rwanda related.
Yeah.
Has to do with the projects.
The work.
Has to do with work, has to do with the administration. And the projects will always be producing, other projects produce quarterly reports, others biannual reports, others yearly reports. That is the type of data which they need to upload. There are evaluators who come, external evaluators and then they give you a report. That report needs to be uploaded. There are auditors sometimes who come, and there's information which is, everyone needs to know, because sometimes you need to apply it in your area, then it will be there. So it is not the type of sensitive information where whether it is true or it is not, because as a report, as a quarterly report, you are supposed to write, true things. As an evaluation, the evaluator is supposed to write true things. And those things have been vetted over time in terms of, if it is an evaluator, the evaluator is given terms of reference, they make a presentation of how they are going to do it, you ask him questions, he makes corrections, etc., etc. Up to the point when you say, yes, we accept the draft, you can go ahead and do the final report. And when the final report comes, that's it. Then that's what you upload. We have had challenges in terms of the previous projects, because when we started this tool, we tried to gather what we have had before. So as you will see, some other folders still don't have anything yet, because we understand there was a Murambi integrated something, there was AREP, there have been so many projects, so many. Jeff told us when ADRA Rwanda started. When?
78.
78. And we are just of yesterday. What do we know of 1978? What document do we have that tells us what was going on in 1978? Probably there is something, and if that something can be found and brought into the system, we'll have a chance to have a look at what was happening. And it can also help us when we are doing the proposal writing to include some of that information of the things which we have been doing as ADRA Rwanda. Okay, so that's the type of information which we'll be uploading. Okay, it's project related, ADRA Rwanda related. Yeah.
I'm not sure if in the Q&A,
it's okay.
But in reality, we don't want to come and say, okay, let's censor this, censor that, we have to check this, check that. We understand that everybody that's going to be putting things in the system, they will be recognized by their own password, their own access, and then their own emails, and you're responsible for what you publish. In reality, everybody in the project should be willing to share. You take pictures today of a training. This is the agenda of the training that was there. Here are the pictures together. So all those things will be enriching the system more and more. And I believe that it's for the benefit of every one of us. So it will be important to continue. The other thing is that we are not going to share documents that cannot be shared. This is very important also. Please, if you are having there your internal evaluation regarding to one staff that document is not public, please do not share that information. Because once you put it on the internet, you are open for this kind of things. Although, inside a group, that's a closed group, as far as I understand, you can only access the information if you are registered to that group, if you're a member of that group. But if you are hacked, I don't know what a guy of 12, 15 years old in, let's say Denmark, wants to do with our documents. You're going to just browse through and you're going to go straight for the FBI files, probably.
If I suspected someone of misusing in one way or another, I can cut them out as administrator. So they will try to log in, they will not access the system. Okay, if anyone uploaded something so nice, and they feel like, I don't want to share this one with ADRA, they change their mind, they want to come back and retrieve it. As the owner, they can retrieve it, they can take it off as the owner. But if this is the information which someone else feels like, oh no, I don't like this information, the other person cannot delete the information which someone has put. Okay, so the owner only can delete what they have put, and the administrator can do the same. So what we are going to do for now is that for the next few weeks, it's going to be open for everyone, once you have joined, to upload those documents which no one else has. okay, about the projects we have had or anything you feel is important. If you are not sure, you can ask whether you should upload it or not. And then after that period, say 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we are going to close uploading by everyone. If you have a document, it's going to be sent to one person within ADRA Rwanda who will upload. Everyone else can just access. So everyone else can just download. No uploading, no changing, no modifying. You can only upload. For now, we have left it open because we don't want all the information to come to us, all the reports to come to us and us to be uploading. We want everyone to upload what they have. Okay, and then we'll close, and then it will only be one person to be uploading. So if you have something, send it to that person, and that person uploads for you. Or that person will tell you, okay, I'm opening the system in the next 30 minutes. So you can upload from wherever you are. So that person will upload, and then the administrator will close after that period when the document has been uploaded. So that's the security measure which is there. And when you open a document there, it doesn't open in the system. It downloads to your computer. So you cannot open a document, make some changes, and you close, and you think that you have changed the document which is online. No, you changed the document which came on your computer, not the one which is online. The one which is online remains as it was. Okay?
To make our account in Yahoo, do we have to register in Yahoo?
Yes, someone will make a presentation on how each one is going to be registered.
I don't think all people here are really communicating. I don't know if everybody understands English. So we might be communicating, but someone is not getting the object of the communication.
Okay, so what do you suggest?
If you could know if all of the people here understand English, then if they don't, someone doesn't understand, I could suggest that we have someone to at least translate so that you can get the idea of what we are saying here.
Another way is to have that one who doesn't understand, look for who can help them.
Yes.
They just go to that person and say, be telling me what is going on here. Yeah, of course. Okay, if you are not following, if you are next to the person who you think is not following, talk to them and see how you can help them. Okay, let's help each other. If we did the translations, we may take a bit longer than we planned. So just sort it out where you are. Okay, we have now another, what I've been showing you is the ASCII, and now we have the ADRA Rwanda. Yahoo group.
Using a system which is not so easy, I would like if you can maybe add a figure which contains some information about help. Someone who can use it, do not need to call the manager of the system that can help. Even if he's in his office, then he can use it without using such information.
We may want to see can be seen. We only use what they have provided. It is a free service. If we needed those help and explanations and knowledge base, etc., then we would have to be prepared to be paying, to be making a contribution towards that. I would just encourage you that in case you have any questions, once you register, you just send an email to that email address, then everyone is going to get your question. And everyone will be there to help you. Okay, so for now, I'm afraid we don't have that where we can put help and try to explain things. Because this is the system which is made available and you cannot modify it. Thank you so much. Moses, over to you. 10 minutes.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad to see all of you here. I think there has been introductions already.
Yes.
So I'll start from here. I'm sorry I'm late. I told others to come very early, but we were engaged with other issues. So we want to apologize for being late, me and the finance director, but we were engaged in some of the things. Well, I'll start from here. When you look at this folder, it summarizes part of it, the policies and procedures and the reports. And when you open it, some of you, for example, bring order of missions that we used to use a couple of years ago. It has HR assistants. Sometimes I tell you that these are no longer being used. So when you get here, that is when you don't need to come from all the way where you work from your field office to come and get it from here. So when you open up this, I open the HR files, and if you go for the HR forms, it is summarized. We have the leave, order of mission, and here is form, final settlement. So whatever you like, if you're a member here, as Patrick, I believe, has said, you just have to print it from where you're coming from, and then when you come here, you have any person that you're working with, you can sign for it, you can be signed. So when we open these are the forms that we have all. It shows a confidential form. Sometimes, I believe some of our new staffs are here, they have already signed this. We have confidential form, conflict of interest, which we are all obliged to sign. We have evaluation. There are all these forms that you can see here. So everything that you need, that forms that are related to HR, all of them are in this folder. So when we go back to HR, me, I know this because I had prior training for this. I think Patrick has already said. So the human resource manual, everything that you need to know, things that you don't understand, things that brings a lot of questions. This is where we find. But I believe we have a new one. We recently had a board meeting. It has not been signed, but there are some changes. It has not all been changed, but I believe this is the one that we have been currently using, the one that was approved in May 2012. But I believe there are some changes that have been made. So this is, you can also find the human resources. When you open it here, I think it will download somewhere on the computer. So
it is downloading right now.
Which is doing now. So without wasting much time, this is what so far has been put there. Thank you very much. Is there any questions?
It's good that you're mentioning that, Moses, because one of the reasons why we have policies is for those policies to be known by everybody. So the questions will be less and less every time. Some people come to a meeting like this and say, oh, how much do I get if I go for my allowance of one day, my per diem, things like that. So all these changes that happen during the year, between one general staff meeting and another, will be posted there. What Moses is saying is that the result of our meeting on Wednesday, of course, that minute has not gone out yet, so the file is not uploaded yet. But we have new documents coming in, new forms coming in, and you'll be receiving, part of that group, you'll be receiving this firsthand. So that's why it's very important for you to be enrolled and actively receiving these documents and using them openly.
Thank you.
Links.
links.
Put something or links, so maybe you can just, since you are here, write down
Patrick has just reminded me about the links. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we might find a policy that goes hand in hand with our policy. So, for example, if you need, if you have, for example, what is needed for visitors or for any other government agency that we work with, they usually provide a link. So what we do is that if you need anything to do with immigration, entry, exit, visa, it is all the forms that are needed by immigration. For any of the staff, or a project has a visitor who is coming, and you need to know all what is needed. You need to communicate with the visitor what he or she needs to come with, or how she needs to apply for a visa in entry to Rwanda. So when you click on this link, this is where we find everything, because sometimes we don't want to overload this system, so we provide a link that when you click on it, it just takes you straight to that link. And I think we have So usually when you click on it, it just automatically takes you to that link of the immigration forms. Right now we're having a difficulty, but this is how it works. You go to that and then you click on it, you'll find all the forms that you need to fill, all the requirements for visas, for every kind of visa. They have so many different kinds of visas. So this is where you find everything here.
For the people who are in, okay, Moses has explained everything, and the people who are in program, you know how writing the proposal requires you to go back and see the information, and this thing can help so much. You don't need to call, as Patrick was saying. No, you just have your computer before you, and you just click, and you have that information. Actually, we found that we have people who have information. Okay? People have information. And we have all the tools to facilitate us. But many times we don't communicate appropriately. This is why we are here now, to have this as a decision for everyone to take this as his or her decision that we need to communicate every day. If there is any information, don't keep it in yourself. Share it with other people. So just if you want to know the way forward, I would like to invite Sylvie, who will come and take us through some process. Thank you, Sylvie, for coming.
Thank you. I think after ADRA's presentation, we may have different questions, or maybe you can ask yourself how to become a member of this system. What I can say, it is so easy. It is not need you to pay some money, or it is not even time consuming. In other words, I can say that it is free and quick. Only to send your email address to Patrick so that he can send to you an invitation. Once you receive an invitation, you just respond to that invitation, and you immediately become a member of the system. Maybe Ezra can come and help us to show you the Patrick's email for those who don't know his email. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvie. I was sent an invitation by Patrick, and that is the process that we go to everyone who wants to be member. For you to be member, you need to register. So before registering, you have an invitation. Patrick invites you. And if you don't respond, you are not a member at all until you accept. That is very easy. The invitation is here. Okay?
You double click on it. No. Double click.
Okay. So actually this thing can give you, it can tell you something, then you do that something, and you go somewhere and it tells you, do this. So let's go together and see. Where do I go now? Join this group. Okay, let me try this one. Normally I'm a member of Ask and ADRA. Now this is an invitation from ADRA group, but on my Outlook email. Okay? Okay, I was using Yahoo. Now we are trying to see if Outlook can do the same if you don't a Yahoo address. Okay? Invitation to join.
Maybe the best.
Okay. Invitation to join ADRA Rwanda. Welcome to Yahoo group. You have been invited to join ADRA Rwanda. Note, this is a pre-approved invitation. If you join from the group homepage, the moderator must approve your membership. Okay? The group. I click there. Okay? Let's see what it brings to us. Don't get troubled, and if you are troubled, make sure you ask somebody who went through the process before. He will or she will help you to understand more. Thank you so much.
Esther will tell us how it has helped the portfolio and how she thinks we can all help contribute towards making it work. If you have a pen, I want to give you the email address you write to. If you can't see, how do you know there is something written? Okay, pat.mpaka@yahoo.com. We are using Yahoo because for you to be able to upload and play around there, you need a Yahoo account. So if you don't have it, create it for the purposes of this, so that you can upload and download and do whatever you want. Okay, it is not in conflict with the ADRA Rwanda address, the Outlook address, not necessarily. You can enter using the ADRA Rwanda, but then it will ask you for a password, a login password. So you use the Yahoo one. Okay. So I'll ask finally Esther to tell us about her portfolio.
Yeah, I would still get it.
Okay. Where's the mic?
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Now here we have, I think everybody is well conversant. You mentioned we have 5 portfolios and education is one of them. But I did not hear someone mention who is in charge of economic empowerment. Maybe not everybody knows.
Okay.
Not you.
No.
At least someone from behind.
Economic empowerment.
Yeah, who is in charge of economic empowerment? Don't know. Then the one in charge maybe should stand up for members to know. So Jose is in charge of economic empowerment, and then I think emergency was mentioned. What about food security? Also, it was not mentioned.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now to education. What I did in education is that because we normally have meetings and education does not mean one project. It has different projects or programs that are having education in it. And it has different areas that formulate, and when you are asked to go and attend a meeting on education, you are required actually to speak about the whole education in ADRA Rwanda. And this program has helped in knowing what is happening in education in every project. And these 5 folders were created also by alphabetic order. As Patrick mentioned, we have the ASK program, has education component, and we have the REPOL, DFID, also with the education project. Then this one is not a project in ADRA, but it was created for the partnerships that we have with different, with other organizations that are not in ADRA. Like we have Rwanda Education NGO platform, which normally holds meetings, and last in March it was hosted here in ADRA, and there was a report, a presentation that was given to that platform from ADRA on education, and this required a collection of information from different projects. There is sponsorship with the component. The whole sponsorship, much of it is education. Then you have UNHCR. Okay, then we have Youth for Unity. If there is any so in this case, we have created a folder for every program or every project in ADRA that might be having other components, but also has a component of education. And the summarized information on education is the one that is to be downloaded into these folders. Like Youth for Unity. We click here. We can see that there is a file here which talks about Youth for Unity. Actually, this one was created by my brother Jose. He crossed the boundary. I needed the information and he put it directly into the education portfolio. Otherwise, I expected the file to come to me and then I would summarize and know what to put under education, because sometimes it can be bulk and it has many pictures and it can fail, take much of the space which could be taken by other projects as well. So the same applies to other areas. We have not been able to put in the file, but so far with these folders, we'll be able to put information on education in every program or project. We can see that the file part, the ask part is still empty. That means that demand, you have a date.
You want to you and you did not.
It was not sufficient. It was still lacking some things. Okay. Then we have all this sponsorship sent some information, and UNHCR, I still need a lot of information from there. This one is also empty. There was information sent, but it's to be uploaded here. Actually, I was trying to upload, but then there was a message that either the space, it was full.
It must have been more than 5 megabytes. That's when it failed.
So it would not fit there.
So
we are still running in the process, but we are very grateful that we have been we have the information now and the knowledge actually to create the file folders and upload the files into the folders, and I believe this is going to be helpful. It is already helpful to me, and I know it's going to be helpful to every other person. So in brief, that is how we are doing it. For the other areas, I've mentioned ASK, I've mentioned the sponsorship, UNHCR. In this area, actually, I work together with Samuel. It's not only me, because Samuel has a wider part. Samuel was here, I don't know if he's still around. Not? Okay. If there is another project which has a component on education and it is not included here, you can remind me so that we can put the folder there, and then later it is easier to put the information. Because the folders were created to help me remember which areas need to be filled with information. Some of the information I already have it on my computer. It's now uploading it into these files, what is the remaining. In the meantime, I will request my brother Jose if he could delete that one so that I will be able to put the updated one. Any questions? Yes or no?
Yes, I think some information under the folder of projects. Now we have the information under the portfolio, and the same information you need, they are in the folder of your project. Because now you have the folder of
Under the folder of projects, yes. Thank you very much, Orea. Okay. Now on the outlook, if one talks about, hears about us, may not easily know that they have an education component there. We have worked with the project for a longer period than me, where I might spend the whole day going through all what you have been doing for the whole year. And but when you send me a summarized part, it will be easy for me now to maybe I can review that one and say maybe I don't need all of it for the education portfolio, and get another file which I can put under the education portfolio. So also it helps another staff wants to maybe who might face a question in the field on what is happening in sponsorship or what is happening in the report. They may not have to read through all the project documents in order to get a summary of what is happening in education. So the key message is picked from the project and then put under the portfolio file. That is how I interpreted it. Another question? Thank you very much.
You may have questions, but I know you will not be eager to ask questions. So I would like to ask Sina to hand over this system to ADRA Rwanda. But let me say that over the break, I had a small discussion with someone to do with how other people from outside our system, if they really need this information, to use it, and we know about them. For instance, we know about students who may want to make a research about ADRA, and we have fully authorized that they can do that.
To know or to feel that sense of responsibility is to upload it, it can be a problem, frankly speaking. Not just assuming that people will be uploading, but frankly speaking, that is the way people are, that is the way we are, that when everybody is asked to upload, sometimes it is like nobody is responsible for that. So I want to know whether there is any mechanism in place to make sure that information in data are uploaded. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It helps me to clarify a few things. The first one is that at the moment when we are saying everyone is free to upload, we are largely looking at the previous projects. This ADRA Rwanda started in 1978. And the information which we have now is maybe 2-3 years back. But there are other things before which might have taken place. The documents may be in our computers and what have you. Those are the things which we are asked to upload now. And we will close to everyone in the next few weeks, because we think if you have not managed to get anything in the next 2 weeks, you may not get it. But if you get it after that, then you communicate, you say, I have this which I wanted to upload. And we'll communicate to you the person responsible for any uploads in future. When it comes to portfolios, you heard Esther saying, Oze, I want you to delete this so that I can update it. What it means is that the portfolios have got coordinators, and it is those coordinators who will be contacting projects to get information, to get data on the portfolios in those projects. And then they will say, give me this and this and this and this about your project. So once they get it, it is them who will be uploading. In the portfolios, it is not everyone to upload. It is the coordinators to upload. And they upload what they get from the projects. So they will be asking the projects, give me this, give me that, give me that. And then you respond, then they upload. It helps them to have summarized information. When it comes to the actual projects, you have seen, we have what. As we stand now, it is indeed not everyone to upload. It is the responsibility of the project managers and the coordinators to upload. But what they upload is a collective documentation of what you are doing in the project. So for instance, if you have got a quarterly report, you write it together. You don't just have the project manager write. Maybe you do, but the thinking is that the quarterly report is going to be done by all of you, and then it is the project manager to upload it. So that if four of you were involved in the project report, we're not expecting that then there will be 4 uploads of the same from each one of you. The project manager will be responsible for that. The photos, the success stories and whatever from the projects will be the project manager, or if they have got a monitoring and evaluation person within the project, or anyone responsible for reporting. So it is going to be, it's supposed to be systematic within the project. It's not everyone. If we say upload, that's my last point. Upload, and no one uploads, it is true. And that is why this thing is going to be handed over to the CD, the country director. Because if I became responsible for it and I went to Esther and said, I need information, upload, she will ask me, who are you? You don't know me, no? Tell me, I don't think you can give me those instructions. So it becomes difficult, but it has to come from above. So the one who is going to be appointed by the country director to be responsible for this, we're going to know that person. We're going to know that office. And it is that office which is going to be contacting the projects. A quarter has ended now. I'm not seeing any report of what you have done this quarter. And the project manager will start trembling. The boss wants this information. Once that information has been produced, then automatically it comes into the system. Uploading as time goes by. It is not a situation, this month let's upload everything. No. As we go by, as we make reports, as we make plans, we are uploading slowly, and eventually it becomes a rich resource which we, all of us as ADRA Rwanda, can use. Okay? Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much, Patrick. I realize within the house there are so many students. We have so many students who would like to do a lot of research, and maybe what we are uploading is not enough. Now, is there a way we can link through the system our students into libraries in other universities, so that we can get solid students coming out as very good quality persons? Thank you.
It wasn't within our mandate, but this is what I can say. If ADRA Rwanda is prepared to make subscriptions to libraries, because libraries are not for free. No, they are not free. If you find one which is free, then you know that what you will find there, you can also find elsewhere. But the real information which is found in libraries, you have to pay for it. So ADRA Rwanda can make, I think it's not too expensive. So what will happen is that when you come online, there's going to be a link. We can put a link, a connection to that website, to that library, and then you can connect and go into the library. Okay? I know this is data for others, but as Okero put it, we have so many students, so therefore you can also make use of it. But I think ADRA Rwanda may make a small contribution and be willing to part with something in order to enable the students to get connected to universities.
Let me just mention something. We have 25 of us that have access to Andrews University Library. I'm not sure how many of you have done that or getting into that, but the ones that are attending the master's program, they have the access to that. Now, we don't know, this is something that we're just learning now, that there's an interest, and we have to make sure that there is an interest for real. and there is a use for it before we can commit and say, yeah, we're going to sign up. Because Patrick's a very rich man. That's why he's saying that's not too expensive. But good universities and good libraries, yes, they are very expensive. As a matter of fact, we did a study before when I was working in a university in Peru. We did, it was very expensive to have the best, libraries, the access. It's not a simple thing. But we can start a dialogue on that, because if there is a need and there is a documented, we can discuss.